Who do I look to?
Toughest question, could we get you to say and spell your name?
Gotcha. Crystal, Crystal, and then Smitherman, Smitherman, Birmingham City Councilor, District 6.
Can you kind of just recap for everyone on camera what happened with the budget today and what your concerns are?
Yes, so today the council passed 4-2 to delay it for about 3 months, which means that we didn't vote on the budget, so we automatically go into last year's budget, which is basically the same thing that the mayor proposed. And so right now, we're just waiting to see what numbers we're gonna get since we had that system disruption for about 8 or 9 weeks.
Was it a 60-day delay?
So we amended it to make it 3 months because the 60 days would have been August 25th, and they felt like that wasn't enough time to give the mayor, to give us those numbers.
So what happens, fiscal year starts what, July 1st?
July 1st.
So help me out, so what happens on July 1st?
Nothing. We just continue on the same budget.
Okay. What will be the opportunity for citizens to weigh in on any changes when the new improved, I guess, the more updated budget comes out?
So that's the thing about that. Councilor Woods was talking about, you have to give amendments to the budget. And so you either have to have 5 councilors to vote yes, and then the mayor has to sign off on it. If you remember in 2020, that was something we were trying to do, and we failed by 1 vote each time. So that's the only way you can really amend the budget, unless the mayor brings another one.
I know you were really hesitant in there today before making any vote or decision. Can you kind of explain why and what your concerns about? You mentioned some things that you guys have talked about increasing the
Yes.
budget for that won't get that at this moment.
Well, I think, the most important thing, and Mayor Woodfin has been doing a better job of this, make sure we have the right services for our citizens. We can do all these different programs, get an amphitheater, but we can't get their trash picked up or the streets paved, then it kind of doesn't mean anything for the people who actually live in Birmingham. We wanted to see increase in traffic calming. Traffic calming is, for example, the stop signs, the speed bumps, for example. We want to see increased funding in street paving, especially these potholes. I feel like, that's NEC, potholes are everywhere, and there are certain streets that haven't been paved in years. Sidewalks, for example, the sidewalks near our schools, for example, are horrendous. Even though some of us gave ARPA funding, it's just those little infrastructure things that we wanted to see increase in. Things for crime prevention, we know crime is out of control, or seeing how we can help the police. And because we don't have those amendments, I was hesitant. Not saying I don't trust Mayor Woodfin, but I didn't want it to be where we pass this budget and then, it's February, March before we see it done.
So is the idea by giving yourself this extra time that by then you'll have the real budget? Is that kind of the idea?
So, sorry, that was kind of a misunderstanding. We've always had a budget. So that's like your household budget, right? You just present a budget. So this is the budget. They're just saying it wasn't the real budget because we didn't have all the numbers because we were missing 9 weeks. But the proposed budget is the actual budget because it's a balanced budget, which is what's required for every city. You have to have a balanced budget.
Has everything been reconciled to your satisfaction as far as the numbers that were missing and had to be added by hand and so forth?
No, that's the whole problem with the council. We haven't been given that. They haven't. And that's fair because that's 9 weeks, by hand that you have to input manually in addition to our everyday operations. And so we're really just waiting on those numbers. And honestly, that's fair for the council because that's our number 1 job is to pass a budget with accurate information.
I'm sorry, and what was the reason that you're missing that data for our audience? that
The
may not be aware of
the
history?
system disruption that happened back in March to April. And because of that, if you remember, the systems being down, meaning that 911 kind of wasn't working, so GPS counting had to be done by hand instead of everything being computerized. And so you're missing 9 weeks in the actual system, which helps us to give those numbers so they can figure out the budget.
So what will happen in 3 months then?
That's a very interesting question. So I really think what will happen in 3 months, hopefully the mayor will give us those numbers as well. And then also hopefully we can have some amendments, whether it comes from the council or from the mayor. And that's talks we can have with him one-on-one.
All right, everybody.
Thank you for your
Yeah,
time.
you're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Crystal.